California, late 2023. The hills were green, the rivers calm, and life in Oak Haven moved with comforting routine. Maya Alvarez, a teacher and single mom, cherished these peaceful days, watching her kids play in the backyard, never imagining the river could threaten their home. In Sacramento, Dr. Raj Patel, a state hydrologist, saw troubling weather models. A series of atmospheric rivers capable of catastrophic flooding were heading straight for California. His warnings about aging levees and unprepared infrastructure were lost in bureaucracy, while towns like Oak Haven remained blissfully unaware. The disconnect between scientific reality and public perception was a silent vulnerability, one about to be exposed. The rain began as a steady, relentless drizzle, quickly turning the sky a permanent gray. Dr. Patel's predictions were coming true. He warned of levees at their limit, but his urgency was drowned out by routine and denial. Maya watched the river rise, her brother Carlos, a firefighter, urging her to pack a bag just in case. Official alerts were vague, and most people dismissed the threat as overblown. On social media, videos of flooding appeared, but few grasped the scale of what was coming. Dr. Patel felt like Cassandra, his warnings ignored as the true storm gathered strength over the Pacific. The rain was no longer a blessing. It was a test the state was not ready to pass. On January 12th, 2024, the storm struck with full force. In Oak Haven, the levee failed. A wall of water surged into the town, turning streets into rivers and homes into islands. Maya woke to water pouring into her house. She rushed her children into the attic, praying it would be high enough. Carlos and other first responders launched boats, racing to save neighbors trapped by the flood. The scale of the disaster overwhelmed everyone. Emergency alerts blared, but for many, it was too late. Dr. Patel watched the catastrophe unfold on his monitors, devastated that his warnings had gone unheeded. The system had failed, and now survival was all that mattered. The fight was no longer about prevention. It was about saving lives. At dawn, Oak Haven was a sea of rooftops and treetops. Maya, huddled in the attic with her children, was rescued by Carlos, who navigated the flooded streets in a boat. Across the region, volunteers and first responders pulled hundreds to safety, their courage shining amid the chaos. Evacuation centers filled with families who had lost everything, but within the shelters, a new sense of community emerged. Dr. Patel visited the shelters, witnessing the human cost of ignored warnings and outdated infrastructure. He explained to survivors, this was not a freak event, but a symptom of a changing climate and neglected systems. The flood was a wake-up call, one that demanded action, not just sympathy. In the face of disaster, the community's resilience became their greatest strength. As the waters receded, California faced the long road to recovery. Maya, now an advocate, spoke at town halls, urging better preparedness and flood safety education. Dr. Patel became a leading voice for modernizing infrastructure and adapting to a new climate reality. Volunteers and neighbors rebuilt together, forging bonds that would outlast the flood. The tragedy became a catalyst for change, a reminder that hope is an active collective effort. The scars remain, but so do the lessons. Heed the warnings, demand action, and prepare for the storms ahead. The next disaster is not a question of if, but when. Let's be ready